I'm reviewing 5 different Japanese ice creams. Hello there, I'm Scott. So Japan gets crazy hot in the summer, so I decided to hit up the convenience store and try out some of their ice creams. So I grabbed 5 classics to see which ones are worth your yen and which ones are going to break your teeth in half. I also picked up some coffee today, so I've got some Georgia Black. So this is one of my favorites, and it's just a nice simple black coffee which I thought would go down nicely with a wee bit of ice cream. So it's got a nice strong flavour to it, but it's not too strong, if you know what I mean. I had this in the freezer. It is absolutely freezing cold, so it's just lovely. Today is about 35 degrees outside and it's really humid. Okay, first up we've got the Azuki Bar. Look at that. Now this is supposedly the hardest ice cream in Japan. There's actually a warning. See this red part at the back here? It says, be careful, this ice cream can break your teeth. So actually, this is an English school. I'm an English teacher, and one of the students in one of my classes, she actually had one of these last year and she broke her tooth off. So be very careful with these. Leave them for a wee bit before you actually chomp into them. It's basically frozen sweet bean paste, and I mean frozen, like break your teeth level hard. But if you survive the first bite, it's oddly addictive. And this is one of Japan's most popular ice cream bars. It's been around for years. So the Azuki Bar is made with really simple ingredients. It's made with red beans, sugar, and syrup. And as I said, it's famous for being ridiculously hard, but it's kind of hard in a in a nice way. It's kind of comforting. And also because the summers are really hot in Japan, it doesn't melt quite so easily. So you can walk around Tokyo or Kyoto, wherever you are, and you don't have to worry that it's going to melt quite so quickly as other ones. Now, when you take it out, I must admit, it doesn't look the most appetizing thing in the world. It almost looks like it's got little cockroaches in it, to be quite honest with you. But you can see, I've been holding this in my hand here, so it started to melt a little bit. But yeah, that's the deal. So let's try it. Now the first thing, when you... Can you hear that ambulance or something? The first thing when you bite into this is the beans. You're basically hit with a mouthful of beans. There's quite a lot of beans in there. If you look at it, every bite is going to have, I don't know, 6 or 7 beans in it. And they're just a nice, mild, earthy taste, just as you can imagine Azuki beans would be. You know, like if you have the sweet bean jam, like in the cakes, or the traditional Japanese sweets. That's basically what it is. So only 3 ingredients, very creamy, very simple, but this is loved by young and old. Now, if you really like this kind of thing, there are 2 more varieties of these Azuki bars. You can't usually find them in convenience stores, but they're often sold in boxes in the supermarkets. Sometimes you can find them in the convenience stores too. There are matcha and the milk version. So you get 3 different types, the matcha, the milk, and the regular. But the regular is the classic, which is a really good kind of entry-level ice cream bar. So it's not your traditional ice cream. It is a little bit of an adventurous one, should I say. But if you're looking to try something which is very traditional and very different from what you'd normally have, I strongly recommend this one. For a rating, I'm going to give this 8 out of 10 because it is rather healthy. It's not expensive at all. And it's just different. It's really good for cooling you down because it is so hard. And it's just a good one. You've got to give it a try.
美味しいですよ。
Next up, we got the giant cone. I love the name of this. Giant cone. So this is your typical cone, you know. When I was growing up in the UK, we used to have the cornetto. I don't know if they still have them anymore, but it's very similar to that. It's just a cone, ice cream, bit of chocolate on the top. This one is the chocolate and nuts version. So they actually have 3 different types. in the convenience store, you will see all three of them. They're very easy to get your hands on. The other one is cookies and, not cookies and cream. There's cookies and chocolate, choco nuts, which is this one, and the choco almond. So I'm going to try the classic one, which is the choco nuts. So this is made by the Guriko company, which is, you know, if you go to Osaka at the Dotonbori, the guy who's running, you know, the running guy, the Dotonbori, that's the company there. Can you see? Guriko. So they make chocolates, but they also make ice cream and all kinds of confectionery. So that comes from the Running Man's company, if you know what I'm talking about. So they're very big about how much chocolate is actually in their giant cone. So if you see in this little picture down here, can you see they're kind of quite proud of the fact that they've got chocolate all the way to the end. All the way to the end, it's filled with chocolate. We will see how much chocolate is actually in it in a wee minute. So you get a crunchy waffle cone, smooth vanilla, and a thick layer of chocolate and some nuts on top. So this is like, you know, the reliable friend who never lets you down. It always brings snacks to the party. It's one of my favorites, I must say. Now, I must admit, these can be kind of tricky to open. So just pull this one here. They can be tricky, but sometimes they work a treat. Like this one worked a treat. See, I'm a liar, absolute liar. And then you take off the wee hat. Oh, look at that, eh? Does that look good or what? Nice. So you can see there's a nice thick layer of chocolate and there's plenty of nuts. I'm not sure exactly what nuts they are, but there's plenty of them. So let's just take it out of its little jacket, shall we? And show you the full thing. So if you look really closely at the bottom here, you can actually see chocolate through the waffle cone. I don't know if you can, you probably can't see it there, but I can see it. Okay, let's have a bite. That is lovely. Now, the chocolate is actually nice and sweet, and the vanilla ice cream is super smooth, and it's not so sweet. It goes nice with the chocolate, and there's lots of nuts on it. So I think it's a really well-balanced cone, and it doesn't fall apart when you eat it quite so much, so it keeps its shape, which is really good. So it would be good for kids. So let's try the waffle cone as well. So you can see the chocolate is kind of coating it inside of the cone there. And the cone itself is actually really tasty. It doesn't look all that thick, but when you bite into it, it's really crispy. So sometimes, you know, when you get a cone, the cone part is like soft and squidgy. This is always nice and crispy. So really, really reliable ice cream. And if you try the other ones too, are also really good. Let's just bite off the bottom and see how much chocolate is in there. Can you see that? Chocolate all the way to the bottom. I thought I could suck it out there, but yeah, chocolate all the way to the bottom, nuts in the top, an absolute legendary ice cream. I'm going to give this 9 out of 10. You got to try it.
すごいですね。
Next up, we have another legendary one. Now, this is not ice cream. It's like an ice candy, kind of a lollipop one. It's called Big Suika. So, Suika means watermelon. So it basically looks like a slice of watermelon, and this is really popular, especially with the kids. It's kind of difficult to find it in the winter. I don't know why. It's not got like real watermelon in it, I don't think so, but it seems to be kind of a seasonal thing. So people love this in the summer, especially kids. So this is the Big Suika Bar. Now it looks like a slice of watermelon and kind of tastes like one too, if watermelons were actually icy, crunchy, and had little chocolate seeds. Now the little seeds are not actually chocolate. I think they're little puffed rice covered in chocolate, but they definitely add a real nice bit of interest to this one. Okay, let's open it up. Ooh. Oh, there we go. Doesn't that look fun? Now that is one of the most fun looking ice candy things I have ever seen. That is absolutely gorgeous. It looks just like watermelon, doesn't it? So you can see all those little black pieces. And I know some people don't like to see this kind of thing. Kind of feels funny to see all these little black bits, but believe you me, it's little pieces of chocolate, and they go really nice in this kind of combination. So usually you don't really smell ice creams, but this one, it smells nice. Okay. Wow, this is fun. So the flavor of the red part, it tastes kind of like a sweet watermelon. You can imagine like a watermelon which has had sugar added to it or something. It's like a super sweet watermelon, really refreshing, nice and light. It's a nice kind of a light flavor. And then the little chocolatey bits inside there, just add a bit of fun, bit of crunch, a different taste to it. And it makes it really look like watermelon seeds. And I don't know if you can see from this particular angle, but the texture, like the ice texture itself, is really nice. It's easy to bite into, and it just kind of shaves off like kind of shaved ice kind of thing. So the texture is also something to enjoy, and it really cools you down. And then we've got to try this part because this is supposed to taste like melon. Again, a completely different taste between the green part, which is supposed to be the rind. It's much more melony, like a typical melon, not watermelon, like a melon, if you know what I mean. And just that's another nice little accent to the whole thing. So this is a lovely little product. I'm going to give this 8 out of 10. It doesn't have ice cream in it, but it's got a wee bit of chocolate, and it's super refreshing, great on a hot day.
どうもありがとう、ミスターロボット。
Next, I'm going to try the Ita Choco. There you go. So this is made by the Morinaga company, which is a very famous food company, makes a lot of desserts and stuff. And this is actually the summer limited edition. See, it says limited edition on there. What's limited about it is the vanilla ice cream which is used is supposed to have a lighter aftertaste rather than being like super creamy in the summer. It's supposed to be more refreshing than usual. So this is the Ita Choco Ice. So it looks just like a normal chocolate bar, but when you bite into it, surprise, it's filled with ice cream. Absolutely fantastic. So it's cheap, and the chocolate coating is crunchy, so it's really kind of genius in a way. Definitely worth a try. Okay, so let's open up. It's a bit of a palaver to get this opened up here. You got to take off this outer part here, take off that part, and then it's got a little silver package in here, and then we just open this part up to reveal the chocolate. There you go. Can you see that? Okay, so they kind of, in their advertising, they go on quite a bit about when you bite into this, the crunch of the chocolate. Let's see how crunchy it actually is. It is nice and crunchy. I don't know if you can see that there. There's a really nice thick layer of chocolate on there, and the ice cream is just fantastic. It's really simple. It's just like a chalk ice, but it's made to look, you can put it in little sections. You can give it out to your family if you want to. I never do that, but I'll keep it all for myself. I'm gonna give this 9 out of 10. Lots of high scores today.
何にしますか?
Next, I'm going to be trying something a wee bit more fancy. Matcha Berry from Häagen-Dazs. Woo! Fancy pants. So you can see here, it's matcha ice cream, and it's got matcha chocolate coating, and it's got some berries. I don't know if it's raspberries or something. Now this is a limited edition, which is only available right now. So if you're in Japan right now, you can try this one. Not sure about the future, but they do have a lot of seasonal Häagen-Dazs offerings in the convenience stores. So as usual with Häagen-Dazs, super high quality packaging, matcha and berry. Oh, sounds healthy, right? Well, let's just pretend it is. So it's crispy, it's really creamy, and definitely makes you feel a little more sophisticated than you really are. Häagen-Dazs always has that effect on me. I feel like I'm rich. Okay, so let's open it up. Your typical high quality, very lovely looking Häagen-Dazs ice cream crispy sandwich. I really like the caramel one of this one, but this is a kind of a limited edition, so I thought I'd introduce this one. So you can just smell it, it just smells creamier and just kind of more luxurious. So the flavor of the matcha is nice and strong. Now, sometimes you buy these matcha ice creams, the matcha flavor is not all that, you know, but this really has a bit of a punch to it. It's a nice, strong matcha flavor. It's not too bitter, but the bitter quality to it is being kind of counterbalanced with the lovely, sweet, little bit kind of tart berry flavor. And then you've got the cream. I think it's white chocolate in between the wafer and the actual ice cream itself. But just the whole combination, it's very Häagen-Dazs, if you know what I mean. They've just thought about everything. It's very well balanced. It's a lovely one. It costs a lot of money, but it's a really nice treat. Because if you come to Japan, you've got to have something matcha. Probably have loads of matcha stuff, but this is a really good option. So as for a rating, I'm going to give this 8 out of 10. It's very high quality, it's very luxurious, but it is very expensive. But that's Häagen-Dazs for you, yeah? So what's your favorite Japanese ice cream? Have you tried one before? Let me know down in the comments. Or if you've never tried one, which one of the ones which I reviewed today would you like to try the most? Okay, so thanks very much for watching and cheers!